We bring in former staff director for the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and senior fellow at the National Security Institute, Lester Munson. Lester, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, what is your reaction to this new two-day extension, and do you think we'll continue to see more?
Well, I think it's good news, and this is evidence that the administration's diplomacy, and make no mistake, the driving effort behind all of this has been President Biden, Secretary Blinken, and American diplomats working very hard to make this happen. There are still 9 Americans being held by Hamas. I think that is very much on their minds, in addition to the scores of other people being held against their will by Hamas. So this is a real victory for the administration. I think they deserve a lot of credit for this, and they've been working very hard at it. I don't know that looking forward how much longer this is going to be possible. It starts to become more difficult as Hamas turns to hostages that are adult males of fighting age. Unclear to me that they're going to be willing to release those hostages. So far, it's been children and women and folks who are elderly. So there's some big decision points to come here from folks who really don't agree with each other on much. And I think we should be thankful for what has happened so far, and pretty grounded about what the possibilities might be in the future for more releases.
Well, Lester, so much of the logistics and nuance of all of this, obviously happened behind the scenes. The public wasn't aware that this was happening. So what is likely happening behind the scenes right now?
So the U.S. diplomats are working with Qatar, with Qatari diplomats, with the Egyptian government, with the Israeli government. Qatar has contacts with Iran and also with Hamas and presumably Palestinian Islamic Jihad, which is another terrorist group in Gaza that is holding hostages. There may be other hostages held by more mafia-like groups in Gaza. Unclear if anyone is talking to them, but these conversations, some of which are direct, some are indirect. Notably, the Thai government went directly to Iran to negotiate the freedom for its citizens from Gaza. So there's a number of things going on behind the scenes. A lot of meetings, a lot of conversations, phone calls, a lot of late nights for negotiators. And let's remember, Hamas is a terrorist organization. It does not have much in common with the government of Israel, which is a democracy. It's very difficult to get these two groups to agree on anything. So a lot of folks, particularly Americans, working very hard to get this done.
And Lester, obviously, there's useful information that can be gained from these newly released hostages, keeping in mind, obviously, they have to be reacclimated. You have to give them time, to be with their families. But what can be gained from those hostages? And on the flip side of that, is Hamas able to gain useful information in their fight as well?
It's a great question. I think the overarching question here is less about information that can be gleaned from returned hostages or returned prisoners, and more about who is taking advantage of the pause in fighting on the ground. I think there's a lot of expectation that Hamas benefits from the delay in fighting, because Israeli forces are overwhelmingly more powerful than Hamas forces and have basically been achieving all of their goals on the ground, or many of them, over the last few weeks. And so a lot of people think this pause is benefiting Hamas. I suspect on the ground it's a little more balanced than that, and that Israel is using the pause to kind of reorient its forces, think about its strategy for southern Gaza and what it needs to do to eliminate the threat permanently from Hamas so that this kind of thing never happens again.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.